The Giants are back, and no one was more of a giant in the 2012 World Series than Pablo Sandoval, nicknamed the Panda. He had fans dressed up as pandas. He hit 3 home runs in one World Series game. Very few people had ever done it. Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson, just a few. The Giants are playing the Tigers in 2012, and the Giants are just much better. And they're going to knock out the Tigers very quickly in this World Series. All started with the Panda and Pablo Sandoval's power. 2013 in Boston. Boston strong. The marathon bombing. A lot was going on in Boston that year. David Ortiz puts the city and the team on his back. He was, walk away, the MVP of the World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals and Red Sox had a lot of history. They'd played in the 46 World Series. They played in the 67 World Series, the 04 World Series. But this World Series was about Boston and about David Ortiz and what he meant to the city. Red Sox win their 3rd World Series championship in short order. And quite a moment, quite an emotional moment on and off the field. Here we go with the Giants again. And nobody was more of a giant this year than Madison Bumgarner from rural North Carolina. The Giants and the Kansas City Royals. They go to Game 7. Madison Bumgarner has already pitched his arm off, but here he comes out of the bullpen in relief, and he pitches 5 scoreless innings. And a pitching performance unlike we'd seen many, many, many years. He holds a 1-run lead. The Giants beat the Royals 3-2 in Game 7 on the road. Giants' 3rd World Series. They had a way of winning these World Series in even years, 2010 through 2012 and 2014, and standing tall right there, Madison Bumgarner. Not many times do you see a team lose the World Series and then come back the next year and win it, but these 2015 Kansas City Royals did just that. Very plucky team, very aggressive team, very alert team. Here we see Eric Hosmer in his daring dash home to tie the game on a ground ball in the 9th inning of Game 5. The Royals are going to go ahead and win this game in extra innings. It was the Royals' first World Series championship since 1985 when they had the great George Brett and Brett Saberhagen. This Royals team, again, just a real collection, very exciting team to watch, and they cap it off with this World Series championship in 2015. What can you say about 2016 other than Cubs win? That was the whole theme this year, the World Series. It was World Series or bust that year, starting in spring training for the Chicago Cubs and their manager, Joe Madden. And the Cubs fulfilled this. They lived up to all those expectations. Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo and John Lester and David Ross, all of them. And they won this World Series for fans who had not seen a World Series championship since 1908. Fact is, not many of those fans had ever seen one, certainly going back more than a century. But the Chicago Cubs, the lovable losers, the Chicago Cubs finally win. I think they were the toast of all of baseball. People really rooted for them and their fans to see them win the World Series. And the Chicago Cubs, they're at Wrigley Field. They finally do it. Chicago Cubs champions the 2016 World Series.